All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with the Canalmen, the weekly sports talk show covering our Bourne High School athletes. I'm your host, Keegan Hamblett, and although there's not really much nice weather outside today, it's about to get real nice in here for the next 10 or 15 minutes as we break down all of our Canalmen sports teams, showcase a few player interviews, and we have a highlight of an extra Canalmen sports team this week. So let's get started. As always, we started off with the Bourne golf team. The Canalmen came up just short to Seekonk High School on the road yesterday afternoon, falling 272 to 271 in their closest contest of the season. Yesterday marked the end of their 4-game road trip as they went 1-3 during that stretch. Now, despite losing their last 3 matches, the golf team still has a very respectable 7-5 record on the season. A very heavy week for Bourne Golf as they have 3 matches this week and 6 more matches on the season before the South Coast Conference tournament in 2 weeks' time. Moving on now to the Canalmen boys soccer team. The Canalmen fell at home to the Joseph Case Cardinals on Monday afternoon 8-0. The boys soccer crew remains winless on the season, including an 0-5 record in SEC play. Now, we mentioned a player a few weeks ago that has been shining for the team, and we're going to bring him up again because he had a tremendous performance on Monday. It's freshman goalkeeper Carter Gettings, who made 16 saves on 23 shots in that game against Case before Jackson Sharp came in late in the second half. You've also got Max Riddle and Landon Hope, who have been generating tremendous chances on the offensive side. So we'll see if that can continue. Throughout the next few games, they're in the middle of a 6-game run of only South Coast Conference opponents. Over now to the Canalmen girls soccer team. The Lady Canalmen earned a big win on the road on Monday afternoon, beating the Joseph Case Cardinals and Swansea 4-0. The girls soccer team now stands with a record of 2 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. Now, similar to the boys soccer side, a main key of success for the soccer team has been their goalkeeping. 4 shutouts in 7 games for the Lady Canalmen so far, so you gotta love that 50% plus shutout rate for them. The ladies will look to get back to 500 on the season in their next game, which won't be until next week. On to Bourne Field Hockey's co-op with the Wareham Vikings. Field Hockey currently sits at 2-5 after notching their 2nd win of the season last Thursday, a 2-0 result at Sturgis Charter School East. The team has now surpassed their win total from last season with still 7 contests to go. Field Hockey only had 1 contest this week, so they're going to be off until next Monday, September 29th, when they travel to Brockton High School. Checking in now on the Bourne Canalmen volleyball team. After falling on the road to East Bridgewater on Friday night, the Canalmen defeated the Cardinals in 5 sets on Monday, moving their record to 6-1 overall on the season. The run of home sweeps has continued for the Lady Canalmen with 18 consecutive set wins at home dating back to October 25th of last year. They're going to have another opportunity to do that tonight against Seekonk. And to kind of preview tonight's game a little bit and to talk about more about the team, we got 2 of our volleyball players here in studio. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hi, I'm Rossignol.
I'm Avery Morrill.
All right, so let's start out with last week. Maddy, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
The game on Friday, lost to East Bridgewater, first loss of the season, and it was a 10-game winning streak going in. I don't want to say what happened, but what didn't work out in that game that you think you guys improved on going into Monday's game?
I think mindset and preparation were definitely something that we could have worked a little better on. I just felt that we were expecting them to be different than what they were. And, there's learning experience in losing, so we just changed our mindset for Case. We got it.
And Avery, we were talking about before we started, it was a 5-set game. You guys were down 2-1 at one point at Case. How did you rebound in those 4th and 5th sets to get the win?
Well, I think after winning the first set initially, we knew that it was possible for us to compete with this team and that we were capable of beating them. And I think that we got ourselves down in the 2nd and 3rd set, and I think that we just really needed to boost our confidence and learn to play more together, to kind of come back and win the 4th and 5th set. And I think that that's really what helped us keep moving forward, was kind of relying on each other more than just focusing on ourselves and what we were doing wrong.
Yeah. Now, Maddy, the Case game was probably the toughest team you've faced in the SEC so far. The SEC has a lot of really good teams. You guys had a good matchup against Somerset. Apponequet put on a fantastic 3rd set. here last week. Talk about your opponents this year. I know we've got a lot of tough ones later on down the road, but how does the SEC kind of prepare you later on for those state tournament runs?
Well, I mean, we definitely moved up from last year, so it's a lot more competition, and it kind of reminds you to stay focused. I think last year it was kind of a sweep, not to like put ourselves, to humble ourselves, but it was kind of a sweep. So I feel like with these new challenges, we kind of have to learn how to get around more things than before, which kind of just prepares you for the better games coming on.
And we do talk about the students a lot, the fan sections at the games. You guys, I got to say, it's probably the best atmosphere in the SEC here for volleyball.
Yeah.
Talk about the parents that come along for the games and the student turnout that you guys get.
Well, I know personally, like, my whole family just loves to come watch volleyball, and I think that a lot of the girls on our team just have very, like, volleyball-heavy families. Like, we play club volleyball in the off-season, so everyone's traveling to those tournaments as well, and I think that the families just love watching us play, and so therefore, like, it just makes more people want to come watch the game. And, like, especially if we are, like, winning and having fun, it's more exciting to watch, and I think that kind of intrigues more people to come see.
Yeah. Now this varsity team, it's loaded with seniors and sophomores. Emily Sudo is the only junior on the team. You guys won the state championship last year, and a lot of those players are back for this year's team. What does it mean to have that presence on the court with state champions helping lead the way for the underclassmen?
Yeah, I think it's just like a good inspiration for the girls. Like, to be able to see some of these girls that have been on since freshman year, it's just incredible, and they really worked hard for it. So to be able to watch them, how they work, how they play, it's just good inspiration, it's good motivation on how they should be playing.
Now, as the libero for the team, Avery, what's kind of your role in that leadership, whether it's off the court in practice or on the court during the game?
I think, well, every ball, like every game point starts with a pass, and I think that I also, from my position on the court, can see things that maybe the hitters don't and the other people on the court don't. So it really just comes into communicating with your teammates about where the ball is going, but also starting off with the pass. I'm paving the way for where the point could go, and I think that really just plays a role in how we score.
Now, I do want to go into two quick player and coach spotlights real quick before we go preview tonight's game. I'm going to start with Coach Moore. Coach Moore, this is his second stint actually with this Bourne Canalmen volleyball team. He had a stint a while back before he came back in the late 2010s. What's his mindset? What's his go-to to help build successful teams here?
Well, I think he's very serious, but I think he's also very caring and wants us, he really wants what's best for us in the end. So he'll, in practice, he'll push us to do our best, but he understands, how to, I don't know what's the word, how to communicate, I guess, the best he can on, what he sees on the sidelines and what he can give improvements on.
And the player I wanted to talk about real quick, I think you two already know who it is, Nola Timo, kill machine out there. I believe she had 14 kills last week against Apponequid, just a tremendous performance. What do you guys see from a player like her where she just racks up points for you guys? It seems like almost every single play.
I think the big thing about Nola is that she just has so much energy, and most of the time she uses that energy as momentum when she's playing, and I think that especially when she gets a really good kill or point, it fuels her I guess just energy, her hunger to want to get more. And I think that that's a really good thing for our team, to have a leader like her and a teammate like her who's just very competitive but in the best way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then tonight, we're going to preview this game a little bit. It's a tri-match against Seekonk tonight. Freshman game starts at 3:30, junior varsity, 4:45, and varsity at 6. I'll kind of go to you in a second about you guys' game for the mindset. But what do you want to see tonight, Maddy, from the freshman and junior varsity sides before you guys take the court?
Yeah, well, for the girls, I feel like this is a really good opportunity for them to showcase how they've grown so far. Seekonk is definitely one of those teams that you can try new things with. So, for the girls, if they're in hitting, I want to see them try to go line or try to go cross, really see what they can do and where they can improve on court. And then for the girls in back row, just being able to read a little bit more, I feel like their communication as a whole will go up tonight for sure.
And then Avery, what's the mindset for the varsity game against Seekonk tonight?
Well, I think that Our conference is very divided, not in a bad way, but some teams just have a higher skill level than others. And not that Seekonk is a bad team, but I think that sometimes we might get in a mindset that we're better than a team, or we're like very capable of beating a team, which is fine. But I think that something we just have to keep in mind is that it's just like every other game, and no matter the playing ability of at the team we're playing, we still need to keep our ability high. And I definitely think that some of the younger girls will get a chance to play tonight, and I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that they're able to show what they have.
Maddy and Avery, I want to thank you very much for coming by in studio to talk about the volleyball team a little bit. Dan Vinciguerra and I will be covering both the junior varsity and varsity matches tonight on Bourne Community Television on YouTube and on channels 6, 8, and 9. Again, 4:45 start time for the JV game and a 6 o'clock start time for the varsity game. And now for the Bourne football team. For the second season in a row, Bourne sits at 3-0 through their first 3 contests after a 19-0 home win against Sandwich last Friday night. So not much news going around now for the Bourne football team, but their JV side did play at home on Monday afternoon right over at Jackson Field, an 8-0 win against Sandwich. Bourne's next varsity football game won't be until next Friday night when they take on the Monomoy Sharks, a team in which they strongly defeated last year, and that Monomoy side is winless so far on the season. Good luck to football as they continue their hot start in 2025. We also got to give some quick love to the Canalmen boys and girls cross-country teams. Both sides sit at 1-1 on the season after winning last week against Case and falling to Seekonk at home yesterday afternoon. 2 more weeks until their next contest at West Bridgewater. All right, now to wrap it up, let's take a look at the remaining schedule for this week. Golf is back at home for 2 more contests to finish off the week. Tomorrow versus Case at 3:45 and Friday versus Falmouth at 3:30, with both taking place at the Brookside Golf Club. Boys and girls soccer games this afternoon against Seekonk have been postponed to a later date. Make sure to check out arbiterlive.com for more information on the rescheduled date. And volleyball hosts another tri-match inside the Bourne High Gymnasium tonight against Seekonk, with the varsity team taking the court at 6 o'clock. As mentioned in that interview with Maddy and Avery, Dan and I will have coverage of both the junior varsity and varsity games available to watch right here next week. Be sure to follow Bourne Canalmen Athletics all season long across various platforms. Catch updates on the school Instagram page at Canalmen Athletics, as well as the specific team pages, which include at Bourne_Canalmen_football and at Canalmen_golf. We thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Keeping Up with the Canalmen. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to Bourne Community TV for Bourne TV programs and BTV sporting events. Also be sure to watch us on channels 6, 8, and 9. For all of us here at Bourne Community Television, I am Keegan Hamblett signing off and wishing you the best. We will see you later tonight for Bourne Canalmen Girls Volleyball. Have a good one.